Welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays and Wake Up with the Consciousness Café. I'm Reverend Christie Hardwick, and I'm here with Roxanne Layton, whose music you were just listening to. And she's sitting in the background of one of the places that brought that forth from within her. Welcome, Roxanne.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here.
So glad to be here with you. I've had the opportunity to be with Roxanne in many different settings, and most of them related to music. There's amazing music, this musicologist that is a percussionist and a flautist and a beautiful singer as well. And so I've had a chance to be in your presence when all that is going on. But there's so much more to Roxanne Layton, and we are going to get a chance to dive in a little bit into the callings of your soul and the places that you've been and the places that you may still yet go. So why don't we just start with that? We just listened to the tiniest bit of the music that you created in the most recent CD. Tell us a little bit about that.
That piece of music is called Kiva, A Journey Within. And that is from my newest album called Calm Heart. And calm is spelled with a K. And it's part of the album, which had an intention to it. And the intention was to write music at 60 beats per minute. And for the reason that 60 beats per minute is the average beats per minute of an of an human heart in a relaxed state, average human heart in a relaxed state. And through entrainment, after listening to it for maybe 2 minutes, well, for me especially, my breathing and my heart rate and my brain waves slow down. And entrainment means that because the rhythm is at 60 beats per minute, my system, my three systems of rhythm, my heart rate, my brain waves, and my breathing, get entrained by the music.
Wait, that was a lot. I mean, I'm amazed
That's a lot.
you said in about 1 minute, less than 1 minute, 30 seconds. But the 60 beats per minute, you said was indicative of kind of an average calm heart, a heart that's just beating in a normal rhythm. We're not really excited. We're not, extremely low. It's just a normal rhythm. But
right.
this music, you patterned it after that kind of
Yes.
calm state.
Yes. So every piece of music on that album is that I started the metronome, then turned it off, but I kept that rhythm of 60 beats throughout the whole album. So the whole album is in a calm place.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love the flute and all the instruments you play because I think you're doing everything on there. Just you lay different
Yes.
tracks, right? Okay.
Yes, and many instruments, sideways flutes to Native American flutes to recorders, some Indian flutes. Yeah,
Wow.
percussion and the recording of the birds and sounds that you heard, I recorded myself in Joshua Tree and Tucson, Arizona, out west, which I'm very
Beautiful.
inspired by.
I have seen you use, I think it was recorded sounds from whales once. Am I right? Was there
Yes,
a moment when you shared
yes.
some?
I actually didn't drop the mic into the water, but I used others' recordings of humpback whales singing.
Yeah.
And imitated their sound with the tenor recorder, the lower instrument.
That's pretty amazing. This idea of entrainment is really quite beautiful. I learned it from you. I hadn't really thought about it before, but the idea of when I hear music that is very, raucous and it makes me want to get up and dance and shake my shoulders, I get, into the rhythm of it. And the same goes for classical or something else. And so this idea of, the purposefulness of music and what it does inside of you is something you really are fascinated by, study a lot, and of course you contribute to the field a lot. But you also gave a TED talk on this idea of, I think you called it your soundscape.
Yes, it was basically, what is your soundscape? It was a question, because I wanted people to be aware that landscape, we're all aware of our landscape. How about the soundscape, which affects our bodies? We cannot turn our ears off. So soundscape is very important to us, and if we learn how it affects us, then we can actually help ourselves, whether we want to be upbeat or low beat or relaxed or stimulated. We can control that with what we have in the background. And when you can't control it, when we can't control it, like New York City, busy streets, we have to realize that that is affecting our body. It goes into our ears through our vagus nerve and feeds all of our organs. It can also affect our heart rate. It can affect our blood pressure. And it's kind of important to start having that word in our vocabulary. I
Mm,
think we all know it somehow, but to really know it intellectually, we can start making better choices.
about
Nutrition,
a sound
yeah,
script.
about sound. Is it toxic or is it nutritional?
Beautiful. And so the music you've created is nutritional, and being aware of everything that you're immersed in, though, makes a lot of sense. It just makes so much sense. So musically, this is just one example, the album that we just shared. But you also are involved in music. I've seen you perform in a way that's serious. I've seen you perform in a way that's quite silly but entertaining. And then I've seen you take charge of a major organization called Mannheim Steamroller and kind of lead them off in a big concert. So, talk a little bit about your musical portfolio.
Well, with Mannheim Steamroller, I've been with them 26 years. We're a very democratic group. I just happen to be the MC now for the last couple of years, and announce everyone on stage and kind of set the tone for that night. Mannheim Steamroller is a wonderful gift that I happened to. It was kismet. It was serendipitous, but I mean, I could tell you really quickly. In 1991, I won tickets on WBOS to go hear them. They Chip Davis is the founder and composer, and he takes early music. So he takes harpsichord, recorder, lute, all these early music instruments, and arranges and writes music so that there's also a rock and roll element. So there's synthesizers and drums, and it's mostly instrumental. There's a little singing here and there. Um, and so when I heard it on the radio and someone had just given me a tape, I said, "Oh, I'd love to go to that concert." And he won tickets, went to the concert, met Chip. We are both recorder players and percussionists, and we're like brother and sister, and really hit it off in 91. And in 95, he asked me to join the group. So this is, we have done vaudeville theaters, arenas, and we're going on tour hopefully this year. And yeah, that's an amazing outlet to be able to play recorder to, hundreds of thousands of people.
Beautiful. I think you might have had a picture for your background of
Yes,
behind because it's something
find
that
it.
I'd heard of it and I've heard about it and I knew something, but I didn't really know exactly what it was until I got to go to a live concert to see the way that music is done by that group is so different than anything I had really, heard before. And it was so engaging.
It's such a great, it has been an amazing journey with this group. I'm so grateful. And, we've played at the White House on these different TV shows, been able to meet and share with so many different
Mm-hmm.
types of people, and people tell us stories about how this music has helped them and it's become a tradition in their homes. And it's just so heartwarming. And this is just one of the things I do, but one of the major things I do, because it's
Yes.
about 56 concerts in 6 weeks.
Yes, it's
A lot.
amazing. That road trip that you're on when you do that. It's really
Yeah.
amazing. And then I'm real familiar with what you do in Provincetown. So I am here recording with Roxanne in Umberto Day in Umbria in Italy, and she is in Provincetown, Massachusetts, at the tip of the Cape. And wonderful, amazing musical things happen there between the bootleggers that you do with Zoe Lewis to the kind of spontaneous groove concerts that you do with another person whose name I don't recall, but I remember seeing the two of you with you have some percussion, he's got some background going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Julio. So yeah, it's a DJ group. We're called The Calling. And He spins this amazing Brazilian groove music, and I play electronic drums, and we have, well, Provincetown, you don't need to put a background up. It's so gorgeous here. We play outside, and so we have the ocean behind us. We have gorgeous architecture. We have the sea and boats, and it's just, yeah, it's a wonderful journey in music to be able to do all these different things.
Yes.
You know, and so, you know, in the Southwest, I'm really inspired by the Native American spirit there, and lore and wonderful music. And then I play in Boston, I play Renaissance and medieval and Baroque music. And it's just, you know, I feel like with this instrument, the recorder, which everyone has played in elementary, almost everyone, it's a lot more popular in Europe than it is here, that I feel a little bit like an ambassador of this instrument, because it's, you know, so many times I've been asked, you know, what do you really play? No, what did you really go to New England Conservatory for? And I'm like,
Recorder.
taking everything to be like, the recorder is my instrument. And she has been with me since I was 6 years old. Yeah, Latin jazz.
Wonderful.
Zoe Lewis, you know, as you know, is a wonderful musician songwriter here in Provincetown, and very uplifting, very upbeat, and wonderful storyteller, and also does the speakeasy. And she's a wonderful outlet for jazz and Latin jazz and world beat.
Yes, which you
Yeah,
have
I want.
in your background. It's even in your heritage. I think there's a song that you did during the speakeasy that was going back to Cuba. I think
Yes,
one of the songs that you do, because that is part of your history.
it is. It
You've been
is.
places and lived places.
Yeah. So I'm from Miami originally, and was brought up partially with my father, but also this amazing Cuban family and this amazing Cuban woman who is my heart mom, my heart mother. And my first language was Spanish. And so I was really engulfed in the Cuban Latin culture and this beautiful, loving, affectionate family that is in my heart. And so to be able to play Latin music and express myself that way is just really heartwarming.
On the version of Calm Heart and Kiva, A Journey Within, you have this painting, and that is
Yes.
something that you did, right? So are there two different albums?
No, Kiva, A Journey Within was a cut that I did before I
Oh,
did the whole album that I put on the album at the
okay,
end.
got it.
So it's on its own out there on Spotify, out there on iTunes. And I looked up crows and ravens, and they're incredibly intelligent, very family oriented. And I fell in love with them. And so I started painting crows and ravens, and in every which way I could. And 10% of all the paintings that I sell with them go to Wild Care, which is a wonderful rescue place here on the Cape.
But you recently have been on a road trip with a new vehicle that you outfitted, and you
Yes,
gave
her
her a
name is
name.
Ananda Vanda. That's Ananda Vanda. I'll go over here, way over here. It's a little van that I just outfitted, very basic. She was empty, and built, let's see if I got the boxes version of it. Built boxes, and I sleep on top, put all my stuff inside, everything's locked, and I live outside. And I had a calling to go out west, and here's my setup here when I'm out west.
Nice.
And this is how I live. I have a chair, a table, a bigger table, a stove, my little cleaning. Everything collapses. I found a company that everything collapses, bowls, everything. And so everything's flat, and I can put it all away. And then I have my camping stuff above. I have a ladder so I can get up on top there, and my bike on the back. And I have instruments, and I have everything, art supplies, all with me. And it was a wonderful journey this year. Because of our situation, I didn't go on tour. And so I took this moment to see my family and to go across and to Sedona. This is in Cottonwood, which is 20 minutes from Sedona. And Her name is Anandavanda. It's two Sanskrit names put together. One is a lover of music, art, and beauty, and the mysteries of life. And the other name is Ananda, and then Anandavanda is Sanskrit for joy and bliss. And so I thought, well, I can either have one or the other. And my friend said, no, put them together. So she's kind of a little famous in my friend circuit, and they want me to do like an Instagram with her. My younger friends are really enjoying her a lot. So
Let's follow Ananda. That's right.
Anandavanda, and she's a transit connect. So I cannot tell you how many friends I have met just by sitting there in that chair and people coming to me and saying, hey, who are you? What are you doing? A woman traveling alone is different, you know. There are a lot of women out there traveling alone.
But I wanted to introduce you to the people here at SoulCall Global because living callings is something that we desire and hope for every person, is that you're called and you listen to spirit within and you follow the callings. And I think about the fullness of your life, and I know about the music aspects and then this road trip, but I also know that you'll be out on the sea sailing and helping other people to get out on the water and sail. And your sense of adventure is just a wonderful, beautiful, and inspiring thing. So I'm so happy to have just had a few minutes with Roxanne Layton. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you, Christy. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.